Many have begun to question the continued use of the SATs as an indicator for college admissions test, questioning the validity and precision of the test. Concerns have been raised over socioeconomic inequality for this test. For instance, poor families do not have the advantage to even be able to afford the expensive prep courses or SAT tutors. Nevertheless, the SATs is a valuable metric to capture the full picture of students' capabilities and preparedness for college. And without the SAT or any standardized test, it would be impossible to do so. The first important reason for keeping the SATs is the fact that the SATs provide a uniform metric for testing students' preparedness and aptitude for college admissions. Because the SAT is a standardized nationwide test with strict standards for how it is administered and scored, the SATs provide colleges with a measure that can easily be compared across students from different backgrounds, high schools, and geographic regions. And it would be outright impossible if the college admissions offices had to rely heavily on high school GPA. This would be problematic because the difficulty and quality of students' high school education varies depending on the school that they attended. And it would be unfair for a student that attended an extremely challenging school with more advanced courses to be judged for a relatively low GPA. Now, especially in smaller schools where high school teachers have close personal relationships with those students, will most definitely resort to handing out higher grades to those students if they knew that high school GPA would be highly reflected in the college admissions process, as well as scholarship selections. Now, the value of the SATs is that it provides colleges the opportunity to compare students equally across the entire nation. Thus, unlike high school GPA, where grades are assessed by teachers from different schools, districts, courses, and curriculum, the SAT, on the other hand, offers an equal opportunity for students by administering and scoring the same test and the same way throughout the entire country. Now, the second reason for keeping the SATs is the fact that it allows students to demonstrate their skills in a single day at a relatively lower cost. Now, compared to a student where this individual excels in lacrosse or running, will most definitely have an advantage or an upper hand in terms of the college admissions process. However, this is not an option for students coming from low-income families. Also, a student who lacked the maturity and study skills during their high school years may have improved tremendously at their peak when they were being considered for college admissions. Now, if the SATs was based on an overall single metric, the progress will not be reflected. However, the SATs assesses these students and provides them with the opportunity to enter college in the future. Now, the third reason for keeping the SATs is the fact that the SATs assesses these students on vocab and quantitative reasoning. and different areas pertaining to a single base topic to assess their skills and aptitude for preparedness in college right before they enter their desired schools. And by doing so, these students present a relatively standard understanding of mathematics and vocab mastery. And that based on the scores that they receive, the higher scores, in which studies show that higher scores, students who score higher on the SATs will most definitely have a higher chance of completing their degrees at their desired universities compared to those who score lower and have a relatively higher chance or moderate chance of dropping out without completing their full academic journey. And for this is the reason why SATs should not be canceled in terms of being the deciding factor for college admissions. Thank you.